The Birdies and Bourbon Show may look familiar, may sound familiar. We are definitely lubricated as we're heading into the Tour Championship for the FedEx Cup. East Lake, it's going to be hot this week. Doesn't look like we're going to get any rain. It's a par 70. It's plays just under 7,400 yards. Fairways are small. Greens are small. I think there's a lot of folks that have a chance unless Dan, you're entering the tournament and you're entering it even. So two things are going to happen this week. If you're betting and or playing DraftKings, which I'm not going to do much of either because there's 30 players. I think we got to go completely rogue on this thing and as contrarian as possible. And we got to hope somebody gets on birdie streaks and somebody scores. Is what I hope we got to do. I mean, last week, it was absolutely, it was studs and duds last week, man, without a doubt. Starting this week at the Tour Championship, you've got one Scottie Scheffler. He'll start at 10 under. So really, there's two tournaments happening within this one tournament, right? You've got a net score and a gross score. So you've got a gross score that's going to be playing for, I don't even know what they call the East Lake golf tournament that's happening right now. It's the Tour Championship, but essentially there are two tournaments that are going to be happening in my mind. And if you're going to be betting, right, you're going to be betting gross and net. Vicky sneaks in at 8 under. McIlroy, who plays this course extremely well, who has won more Tour Championship, more FedEx Championships than anyone on earth, anyone that's ever been alive. He's won more. Yeah. And he comes in at 7 under. Rahm's at 6 under. I'm not going to go through all these. You got Lucas Glover at 5 under, and I think that's kind of to me, that's kind of the cut line. You could look at this and say Max Homa, who's 6 off the lead for the FedEx Championship, at 4 under. Brian Harman at 4 under. Fitzy just, look fantastic. I didn't expect that out of him coming in this week, but there's, I don't know, what's your take on, I know we chatted about it a little earlier, but what's your take on the, this point system? Starting under par before you start the tournament.
Oh, not a fan of the point system, right? I don't know how you do it. We've kind of speculated in the past, but there's better ways to do this in terms of a playoff and how they go about this. So what about you? Do you have any alternatives you would recommend to Jay?
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, there's this other little league out there, golf league, and it could be naming convention, could be a Roman numeral. Most people don't call it by the number; they call it by the letters. And they got to be looking at this fucking thing, laughing, going like, "What? Why don't you just go ahead and shotgun start everybody? Why keep everybody out there in the heat all day? Let's get this shit over with." Right. That's what I'm thinking. Why are we belaboring the issue? Right. I think you got 2 winners coming out of this thing. And I think one is I think you got 3, and I think it's the top 3 guys. Scottie Scheffler can definitely put himself in a position where he's putted himself out of the victory, but he's ball striking it so damn good. And I think that's that's like, if you can hit fairways and you can hit greens here, like the greens are small enough that you're going to be able to make putts. Or you're not going to make bogeys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Take it away, Danny. Where do you want to go with this thing?
Let's go over to Fantasy National.
Let's go to Fantasy National. You want to look at last 24? Or you want to narrow this thing down? You want to suck this thing down to
12?
To the last 12? That's who's here. Anybody that's going to be playing, unless you've Matsuyami'd me and withdrew, then
no. Scottie Scheffler, 13,400. I'll take 2.
Yeah, I bet you will. Do you have to? Is that where you're gonna? Is that where we're heading?
No, we're definitely not starting there, right? That with that putter, and maybe he does have a little bit of Yeah, we talked about it last week before, but he definitely wants to win him a FedEx Cup, right? So
Well, of course he does, and he was T2 here last year.
yeah,
I think he was in the lead last year, though. Also, I believe coming into this tournament, and I mean, he plays good here. He's got when you've only got 30 people, he's got a T5 or better in 2 out of the past 3 showings here. And then you dropped it. I mean, really, would you go to Scheffler and just not play? I mean, if you're even considering playing Scheffler, aren't you just automatically just auto Rory? I mean,
yeah,
everybody else is.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so, okay. So there's only 30 people. We don't need to go through all of them. But here's what I do think we should do. I think that in the one lineup that I'm going to play this week, and so this is something we're going to change up for next season, is because usually we kind of die on each other's sword, or we die on the same sword. We're gonna pick some different people. I think we can pick a couple people, some anchors, and it doesn't have to be the most expensive, cheap. It be whoever you want. Those are going to be some anchors for you. And then we're going to get a little bit different. So I think we should agree on 3 players that we're going to play. And then I think we got to get kind of cute and see like who's actually picking the better player. That's what I think ought to happen.
Okay. You want me to go first?
I do want you to go first.
All right. You know what? We talked about him a little earlier in the hour. I think Max could be a play here. T5 at the BMW, T6 at FedEx St. Jude. He's hitting the ball well. He's well on his way to a Ryder Cup. What do you think about old Max here? Oh no, did I lose you?
You didn't lose me. No, I'm trying to, because I think I'm going to start picking them as we go through. I think Max is I think it's solid. I think Max is going to be T5. You mentioned it last year. He could shoot a course record for a day just to hand it back to somebody else.
Yeah.
As long as he can keep somebody from nagging him through the whole 18, I think I think Max is going to be fine. And I think this course sets up just fine for Max Homa. So I think that's I got no issues with a Max Homa as an anchor, especially from an ownership standpoint. I think if we can really look at things and say, hey, we're going to have a 23% owned guy. If he'll hold at that, I think we can get an easy top 5 out of Max.
Yeah. Another anchor. Let's see. What are your thoughts on? Okay, I guess this is my pick, right? So I think. We have to pick in different cat. We can't pick another $10,000. You need to pick a $10,000 guy. You pick a $10,000.
You can pick whoever you want to pick.
Well, I can't pick it if I can't fit them all in the lineup, though, right?
That just means we got to figure out where we're going next. Okay, so let me start. Who's our lowest owned? Because I think from a starting position, I think he's also going to be.
Let's put it this way: the lowest owned that I see on this page in the $10,000 category. Well, if I keep going down, we're at $10,000 with Fitzpatrick. The second lowest owned, you would never have guessed if I asked you who was the second lowest owned in this category.
Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Well, that's the first. That's the lowest owned. The second lowest owned is Jon Rahm.
That's a go for me at 6 under
all day long.
That's fire right there, boy. That's fire.
Mm-hmm.
T15, T5, T20. In Brooks Koepka's words, if you only got to beat half the field, there's only 15 people out there he's got to beat, and he ain't even worried about half of them. So
exactly.
Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and ink this thing. I think this is a good.
Who you going with, Jon Rahm?
So I think it's Max and it's Rahm.
Yeah, okay.
We can make adjustments if needed.
All right.
It's gonna Viktor Hovland, son of a bitch. It's gonna be. Is
he playing this week?
Are they paying you more than they're paying me? In the $9,000 range is going to be a little squirrely. If we're going to go anywhere, I think it's Brian Harman. Hold on. What do
Okay.
we got? What do we got left? We got
Nothing. We have nothing
we got
left.
nothing. Okay, that ain't gonna work out.
We have to take one of those guys out. I think we take out Homa. I think with Jon Rahm at that low of an ownership, you got to take him.
I'm not arguing with you. I think Harmon's next in line. What's Harmon's ownership? What's his ownership at? It's low, right?
18. Yeah, it's pretty low. Yeah,
18. Yeah. Same as Lucas. I mean, Lucas Glover does rank out really well here, but to me, this could be a Harmon course. I mean, you don't have to be long here. I mean, it definitely doesn't hurt, but all right. So we're at $7,200. We're digging deep here.
Digging deep.
All right, Shank. And no, thank you, Shank. Shank screwed me in a bunch of lineups last week. Which probably means that it's Shank's the man. I bet Hatton's ownership is just through the fucking ceiling, isn't it?
Looking on the wrong screen.
Where's Hatton?
27. Yeah, 27. Yeah, it's pretty high. Yeah. Why is it so? I don't know. I guess it's just for that kind of price. Yeah,
you only got 30 options, so
for that kind of price,
that's most of the reason why.
Did you expect to see Jordan Spieth at $6,700?
You already know the answer to that. I didn't know. Jordan Spieth finished T13 last year, T20. What's his ownership?
17.9.
I mean, listen, I would not be a Finau guy. I mean, we're not against Finau. Finau's played really good here. And I ain't saying Finau's playing great, but what's Finau's ownership at?
12.6.
$7,500. This could be where you don't have to follow me here, but I mean, Finau what he's averaging in DraftKings points. I mean, there's nothing really that. What's Finau sucking at right now? Short putting. Game, he's fine. Putting ain't great. Off the tee. Approach. I mean, at that number, I kind of got to go there.
Yeah, I agree with that. What's Colin's history here at Eastlake?
Well, you mean after today or
after today? That's right. After today.
Yeah. After today, it's a lot of fun, but up until now, T21, T26, and 6. It's $7,700.
Okay, it's only 30 guys. Yeah.
What do we got? We got 72. Yeah, we got to get deep in the bucket here, man. We got to. He said Spieth's ownership was high, right?
No, 17%.
I think we got to go Spieth then.
Okay, let's go Spieth.
700. I mean, he's missed, but he's been going through some shit. So, and last year at T13, I mean, it's $6,700. Let's see, who else are we looking at? Straka, actually. So Straka he was T7 here last year at $5,400.
I'm gonna say Grillo over Straka, though, right? I mean, Grillo's just been
Grillo has no history here, and yes, I would agree with you. We're at $7,400 flat. So if we want to look at, or even, I guess I should say, we got Finau's in.
You like Burns over Grillo or Grillo over Burns?
Burns 24 last year, T18 in 21. No, you pick. I'm gonna pick the one you don't. You said you like Grillo. I'll take Sam.
I like
Burns.
Grillo. All right, I'll take Grillo.
I'll take Sam Burns. We got 2 left.
I'm taking Grillo to make the cut.
Oh, well, I like that. I think I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna go Tom Kim. And
okay.
I don't know.
Do they allow Capris on Eastlake?
Only if you're on number. I gotta think about this because they switched it up on me. Only if you're on number. Let's think. 18. Yeah, 18, 17, 16. Only if you're on number 15 and you hit it in the water. Only 15 if you hit it in the water. Where's
all right? So you're taking Tom Kim.
I say that. I don't know if I'm taking Tom Kim or not. Hold on. I say I am. Oh, I already selected him. Yeah, I guess I'm taking Tom Kim.
I guess I'll take Corey Connors. T10 last week, T6 at FedEx St. Jude, 52nd the Open, Scottish Open 19th, Travelers T9. I mean, model ranked 8, 13.9% projected ownership. Nobody's got faith in him this week. Dan's going to take him home and win some money. Well, that was our last guy, huh? I guess I left some money on the table.
So last guy, I left $700 on the table. I think you have to. I think this is real sketchy. Is there anybody else you'd want to replay or roll back? What's Fitzpatrick's ownership again?
How much is he?
10,000.
He was up top. He was like 10,000. 13.3.
So I'm actually going to trade Brian Harman in for Matt Fitzpatrick. Even though I'm gonna, when I get to the one and then I'm good there. I'm leaving that the way it is. I think it's a horrible lineup. I'm gonna lose whatever amount of money it costs me to enter this DraftKings lineup, but I may not lose it all. Maybe $1.50 in the hole.
Sounds good.
So you're
one
locked
and
in.
done.
Yeah.
Lucas
I don't
Glover for you.
I don't want to do a victory lap yet. No, I'm going to pick the guy that I just traded in. I'm going with very limited options here. I am going because I do think that our poll, well, I know it does. It takes the strokes into consideration. I'm going with world rank 9, maybe a Ryder Cup player for Team USA. I'm going, give me the left-handed lumber.
Okay. Going Harman, huh?
Brian Harman is my guy this week.
I'm taking Max Homa.
Little crybaby, huh?
Yeah, holy crybaby.
All right. No, it's fair enough. It's going to be a fun week. Somebody just wrote me and said, hey, did you take those credentials? And I'm like, yes, you gave me the credentials. Yes, I took them. Like, okay. Well, we hope to see you there later this week. Oh, don't worry, you will. You'll see me. You may see so much of me that you'll be asking for these credentials back.
Exactly.
So we'll see how that goes. What else we got, Ben?
Well, you caught up. I have not caught up on Lion. That's obviously internet issues.
But Hurricane Wilry strikes again. Hey?
Yeah.
I did watch it last night. I did catch up on it. Looked good. Enjoyed it. They cliffhanger every time, just on the edge of your seat. There's so interesting enough. I've noticed something on TV. We've got a lot of interracial relationships, which I support completely.
Me too. Yep.
And a lot of same sex relationships, of which hey, I mean, who's judging? Not me. Are you judging? I'm not judging.
Nope.
I say to each their own. Yep. And lots of guns. There's no drugs. There's some drinking, but no drugs yet. I'm waiting on them to bust out like a line off the toilet seat in the dive bar.
Nice.
That's when it's going to get hot for me.
Yeah.
But no, line you'll enjoy it. Doesn't disappoint. It's going to be a good. You'll like it. What I'm not a fan of though, I'm not a fan of these once a week shows. Like I like it when they when you drop it, just drop the season. I don't know.
Let me binge the whole thing. Yeah.
I mean, maybe not the whole thing, but it's like
at your own pace.
Yes, but if I've watched one, then let me watch out. Maybe I only had 4 cocktails, and I'm feeling like a nightcap. So I'm gonna work on a 5th one, and I want another show, and I'm just gonna sip this one and enjoy the show.
What the audience doesn't know at home is that Cal, especially in the summertime, is a big beach guy and loves to engulf himself in a great novel. It's like they don't sell novels a chapter at a time. So he's like, I'm so used to that.
I mean, I can breeze through the pages at my leisure. See,
Exactly.
and guess what? I mean, hey, I get it. That, you know, it's like some people say, well, I'm all digital these days. I've done away with paper. You know, I think there's something to be said for being able to peruse at your leisure at the way that you like to digest. And Dan, it's like a bottle of whiskey.
Yep.
Ooh, speaking of a bottle of whiskey, did you see Joel Damon's post?
About
do you know why Joel Damon is not on Team USA Ryder Cup? He's fucking promoting Irish whiskey. I mean, you know what? Hey, why don't you Sabatini this shit and move your ass over to Europe and then go play for Team Europe? But you ain't going to be able to. You're not going to be able to.
It's a good point.
But you could.
You know, I mean, if he was there this week, you'd be heckling him. Hey, why don't you pick out an American single malt, right? Like, what in the world?
I hear Elijah Craig's looking for a shirt to have their name on. Took it off somebody's. Trick a lot of kids. So I'm caught up on that. I think the gemstones are over. So I guess I'm caught up on that one. Have you watched the new season, by the way, of the gemstones?
Not yet. I need to. I'm going to. I like that show.
Horrible. It's a horrible show.
I know, but it's entertaining.
It is so bad. So bad. But but it is so good. Also so good.
So good. You're going to watch the next season. Yes.
Oh yeah. It reminds me, I guess there's going to be another season. It reminds me of my belligerent days in East Tennessee. It's what it reminds me of.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were a big Eastbound and Down guy.
I enjoyed some Danny McBride. Yes.
Okay. All right.
I did think, especially when he went when he was wrestling down, he went to Mexico. Was going to be a wrestler, and I mean, who doesn't it? I mean, how could you?
You can't beat that. You can't beat that stuff.
No, you cannot.
It's so
beat
good.
It.
It's so good.
No, the only thing that's better now is he dyes his hair and he does all this preaching stuff. So,
it's the same thing as Eastbound and Down. It's just got a different setting.
Yeah, instead of being an obnoxious baseball player, which I think aren't all, but you should know, Dan. Yes. I mean, aren't all baseball players douchebags?
Pretty much.
All good baseball players.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, it's an innate characteristic that are born in baseball players. I mean, you just have to be if you're going to be a good baseball. If you're not a good baseball player, you're probably a great guy.
Exactly.
And now he's this evangelical preacher and creeper is what I'd like to say.
Yep.
I do want to find that hotel that they went to where they had the cocaine and hookers at, because I feel like that might have been like a real life thing.
Is that in this new one?
Gemstones.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I haven't been to that hotel yet, but I'm gonna find it. I'm not going to go into the room, but I'm going to at least find out where the room is, and just to see if it's true.
Nice.
Probably is.
Yeah. 100%.
Right. Hey, if you're going to be at East Lake or in Atlanta, let's go have a drink or have dinner and hit me up. You can find it at Birdies_Bourbon, or you can respond back to this show. Where's your favorite place to eat in Atlanta when you're at the Tour Championship?
There you go.